All right, so if you do have a block and you do wish to use it, we're going to place it just underneath or behind rather the shoulder blades. And then you can just come to lay over the block. We're just opening the whole front line of the body. That might feel really nice just to begin your practice, particularly if you have been sitting behind a computer desk. So I'll just demonstrate that one before we officially begin. And you can start in that position and we can open up our practice. So generally where that bra strap line is, so you can just come to lay down, bring the soles of the feet together and just kind of surrender there. If you're feeling that you need a little support where the back of the head is, just bring a cushion. You might want to just raise the head, or it might feel really nice just to completely open up that chest shoulder area. And then by bringing the soles of the feet together and the knees wide, you're getting that added little bonus in the hips as well. So that's my suggestion for our beginning pose to begin our practice on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon, evening. All right, so just settling on your back, bringing that block behind the two shoulder blades, right behind that heart area. And then just allowing the arms to fall heavy, soles of the feet together, knees wide, beginning just to acknowledge the sensations that you're feeling. So just take any movements if you're feeling that the body isn't quite ready to settle yet. And then eventually you'll just notice your whole body softening, melting into the earth, over your props. Just taking this moment just to tune into what you're experiencing in this moment. You might notice thoughts. You might notice sensations in your body. You might be reflecting on a conversation that you've had or haven't had with somebody. You might be feeling excited. You might be feeling indifferent. You might be experiencing a lot of different emotions. Just recognizing that whatever it is that you're feeling in this moment, whatever it is, whether you label it to be good or bad, it's just simply an experience. And that the practice of yoga is to come back home to you. To be able to watch the thoughts, the sensations, the feelings in the body. And to know that's not who we are. We have those sensations, we feel, we are human. But just simply being able to notice them without attachment, without trying to identify them. And then as you focus more and more on your breath, conscious awareness of breath moving in and breath traveling out. Notice how the breath begins to anchor you, anchoring you into this precious, present moment in time. This moment that only will ever happen once. You won't get this moment back again. Stay here, breathe, feel. And taking a full deep breath in through both nostrils, just pausing for a moment at the top. You're going to take an open mouth exhalation. So just maybe even let out a ha sound, really noticing how that sound helps you to soften a little more. Continue soft breath in through the nose as you seal the lips. And then again, take another exhalation. Maybe there's more sound. Maybe there's more of a release. Maybe there's even a scream, that primal scream that wants to come out. Just continue 3 more on your own, breathing in through both nostrils, out through the mouth. Try to really focus as you exhale the breath to release any strain from your shoulders, release the weight of the world off your shoulders, allow your heart to be open, allow your mind to be still. When you've taken those 3 breaths, just seal your lips. Continue breathing in and out through both nostrils. And then just take this moment to tune in, to feel what Sankalpa wishes to come to you. Sankalpa is the intention that we set at the beginning of our practice or even the beginning of our day. It might just be one word, something that brings you into the present moment, peace, love, tranquility, stillness. It might be perhaps a couple of words that you string together. It might vary from time to time, but just notice what it is for you today. And then just very gently bring your knees together. You might still have the knees out wide. Use the hands on either sides of your knees. And then just gently roll off to one side. Remove any props from underneath you if you've got the block or the cushion. Come to lay back down. And then just very gently draw the knees into the chest. Just begin to create some circles. Just noticing the sensations. You might feel that release as you come to neutral behind the heart. You might feel everything settling, just moving gently, knees side to side, circles. And then just very gently release the left foot to the earth. Cross your right ankle over your thigh. Just press your right knee forward. Just take a little side to side movement here, real slow, just a gentle oscillating movement. And then we're just going to take a gentle twist over to the right. So you're just going to keep the ankle on the thigh, and then it's going to slide to the outside of the thigh. You can bring your arms in line with your shoulders. Just take a moment here, getting into that left side body a little. You can either keep the hands where they are or begin to extend them towards the wall behind you. You can grab hold of a wrist. It just helps to create a little bit more length through your spine. Just breathing in and out a few deep breaths here. Very gently release the hands back in line with your shoulders. Come back to center, rolling back onto the sole of your left foot. From here, draw your left knee into your chest. Bring your right hand through the figure 4, left hand to the outside. Reach for the back of the thigh or the shin, wherever your body calls for its position there. And then again, add a little gentle rock side to side. Just notice the hips. A little movement, gently left, right. And then just pause when your left knee reaches your left shoulder. Draw your left knee in. As you exhale your breath, press your right knee forward. Continue pulling your left knee in. Flex both feet, take a breath in, slight release. As you exhale, a little more, draw the left knee in, right knee forward. As you inhale, notice how there's just a gentle release to honor the breath as it moves into the belly. Again, as you exhale, squeeze all the breath out, draw the knee in. Let's do that one more time. In Exhaling all of the breath out. Release the left foot to the earth. Grab a hold of your strap. I'm not sure where I left mine. And we're going to place the strap around the ball of the right foot and then just extend that right leg up to the ceiling. If you're quite flexible, you might just wish to grab a hold of the foot. If you've got a strap there, use that, or a belt. And then just notice again that little oscillating movement, just to feel the femur bone in the hip socket. So just slowly, gently, side to side, maybe a tiny little circle, feeling that big ball and socket joint there at the hip. And then find a place to pause, flexing that right foot. Bring your left hand onto your left hip and then start to extend the left leg forward. Hover the left heel off the earth. Keep that left hip anchored, keeping it facing up to the ceiling, a very gentle opening of the right leg out to the right. So you don't want to roll all the way to the right side. You just want to open it gently, keeping the left hip facing upwards, drawing that right foot out more and more to the right. Maybe even gently pulling it towards the ear, depending on the flexibility. You keep hovering your left foot, feeling that external rotation of the left thigh. It helps you to keep the hips anchored, making sure that you're not clenching the jaw. Take 3 deep breaths, inhale. Soft, gentle exhale, 4. Notice as you breathe in, there's that slight relief. However, as you exhale, perhaps you go a little deeper, 2. Take 1 more full deep breath. Exhale the breath, 3. Slowly come back to center. Release the strap, keep the leg lifted. And then just slow motion, at least for a count of 10. See if you can begin to lower your right heel to meet the left. So just slowly for 10, 9, 8. Keep pressing the lower back into the earth. 7, 6, 5, slow motion, notice the strength. 4, 3, 2, and 1. You might still be going, you might lose connection to how long it actually takes to get it there, but once it lands, just pause, soften completely, noticing the length through the back of your right thigh, maybe a little longer. Sensation through the right than the left. And then again, very gently draw both knees into the chest. See if you can draw them in simultaneously. And bring the hands to the knees. This time we're going to open the knees wide and then bring them forward and in. So you're just circling again. The knees in opposite directions, getting into those hips. Take it also in the opposite direction. You might even want to take it into that first direction again. Just take a few moments here just to feel the groin. And then we'll be placing the right foot on the earth, crossing the left ankle over the thigh, and bring the arms out in line with your shoulders. And we're just going to slowly rock a little gently side to side first before we take it to the left. Just notice the sole of your right foot. You're rolling on the outer blade and then the inner blade or the instep. And then eventually just use that left ankle to guide you towards the left, sliding the ankle closer towards the outside of the knee or thigh. Let's take a moment here, feel into the side body. And then the arms, if you choose, reach them up behind you. Grab a hold of your opposite wrist or the one you did before, or opposite elbow. It'll just be the one that feels a little bit strange and icky. We tend to always go for the most preferred, so just break those neural patterns. Just take a few breaths. The eyes might still be closed. Just breathing in and out. Just 2 more breaths. Releasing any tension from your throat, your jaw. Or 1 more breath. Bring your arms back in line with your shoulders. Slowly come back to center, keeping the left ankle on the thigh. And then we're just going to draw the right knee in. So the left hand comes through to the inside of that right thigh, and then the hand to the outside of the right. And then just gently rocking. Can be behind the thigh or the shin. Slow, gentle, oscillating movements. And then just take notice when your right knee lines up with your right shoulder. Pause there, take a breath in, flex feet. As you exhale, draw the knee a little closer. Left knee presses forward as the right knee draws in. There's a moment of stillness there, and then you inhale, you just slightly release to honor the belly rising, the chest expanding. As you exhale, squeeze the breath out, squeeze the knee in. 2 more breaths, inhale. Feeling that release as you exhale, feeling into the left buttock perhaps. 1 more breath. Just exhale and squeeze the breath out there for a moment or 2. And then as you slowly breathe in, release the foot to the earth, grab a hold of your strap or not, and then place it around the ball of your foot. So left leg is extended. I like to hold the strap in both hands, one hand, the left hand. And then again, just a little oscillating, gentle movements, really conscious of that ball and socket joint. So side to side, maybe some tiny little circles. So you're really feeling that bone structure. You're feeling the surrounding muscles. And eventually you'll hold it upright. You'll slide your right heel forward, hovering it off the earth, bringing that right hand to the hip, the pelvis, even that top thigh area. And then very slowly, being aware that the right hip is still facing up, begin to open the leg more and more and more. Just opening to the left, breathing in and out. Just ensuring that that right hip is still facing up and that you haven't lost connection. Almost feel that external rotation of your inner right thigh to the ceiling. Maybe draw the left foot closer to your ear. Maybe you slide the hand down the strap so your elbow rests on the earth. There's lots of options. Take 3 deep breaths here, inhaling. Soft, gentle exhalation for 1. Breathing in. Exhaling 2. Take 1 more breath. Exhale 3. Slowly come back to center. Release the right heel down, release the strap from the left foot, and we're going to lower the foot down for a count of 10. It might even be longer than that. And then just gently draw the belly in, press the lower back into the earth as you start to slowly lower for 10. Conscious of the breath, 9. Conscious of the movement, 8. 7, lower back presses, 6. Strength, awareness, 5. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Mind's still floating, floating, floating. It feels like the floor should be there, but not quite yet. When it does land, just relax, pause, feel the earth beneath you. And then just very slowly draw the knees in again, drawing them in both together. This time bring the hands behind the back of your thigh. See if you can rock a little forward and back. Even if you don't come all the way up, just try to find that momentum of rocking along the spine. Lifting the pelvis a little to catch a little momentum. Maybe you suspend in Navasana. We are going to meet in Navasana, which is boat pose. You might need to press yourself up. So you can start by bringing the hands behind the thighs to find balance. You might even rest the fingertips on the earth. You might even start to straighten out the legs. You want to draw the chest forward so you're not rounding and arching. You want to pull the shoulders down. You might want to gaze to the toes. Maybe the hands lift, maybe the knees stay straight, or maybe you bend them. But just find strength. So we're really firing and igniting our Manipura chakra, the power center, our will, our courage, our self-esteem, particularly this time as we are all going to slowly integrate back into life, which can be a little bit distressing, daunting perhaps, as well as exciting, not knowing how people are going to react. Keep breathing, keep smiling, keep feeling, knowing that that strength comes from within, first and foremost, breathing in and out for 1. Keep smiling, inner or outer or both for 2. Take 1 more breath. 3, beautiful. Cross at your ankles. Slowly, just lift yourself up, come to a forward fold at the front of your mat. Just going to close this door. So you're in a forward fold. I'm just going to switch sides. You're in a ragdoll. Just kind of gently move a little side to side. You might want to come into a half lift and a fold. You might want to grab wrists or elbows, just whatever position you're feeling, but get nice and deep into those hamstrings. Breathing in, breathing out. Now you might need your block here, you might not. If your hand reaches the floor, great. If it doesn't, great. Grab a block. Place the hand under your face on a block. Left, we'll go right hand. And then lift your left arm up. Draw the sternum forward like a half lift, but it's a twist. Keep reaching the left fingers to the ceiling. The right knee bends, the left leg straightens. Breathing in and out. Soft, gentle breath in and out. Take one more breath. As you exhale, bend both knees. Bring the left hand to the block. Right arm reaches. Right knee straightens. Left knee bends. Just holding here. A little gentle twist. Keep the sternum pulling forward. Try not to put too much pressure on the hand, but more of a lift and a strength through that lower belly region. Beautiful. One more breath. As you exhale, release it down. Move the block to the side, hands to shins or to the floor. Ardha Uttanasana, sternum pulls forward, heart forward. As you exhale, fold gently forward. Feet are still about hip distance, maybe even wider. Inhaling, Ardha Uttanasana. Use that exhalation to fold. Again, Ardha on your in-breath. Hold in that half lift. Squeeze the lower belly in and up. Bring your hands to your hips. Squeeze your elbows together. And gently begin to rise on up and take a little supported back bend here. So you can use the hands to pull the flesh of the butt down a little, or that area there where the lower back is, where you can create more and more space. You might press your thumbs into the lower back and squeeze your elbows together more. You might be more in an upright position, but just take a few breaths. Move a little side to side. Make some adjustments, some movements that feels good there in the hip flexors, particularly if you're doing a lot of sitting. And then as you come through center, interlock your hands, take a gentle forward fold, opening through the chest and the shoulders. As you inhale, come into a halfway lift with the hands bound, squeezing the heel of the hands together. As you exhale, fold between the legs, arms reach forward. Beautiful. Do that again. Ardha Uttanasana, pressing the heart forward, still squeezing behind the shoulder blades. Use your exhalation to bow and fold. One more, halfway lift. Exhaling all of the breath out, holding it here for 3 breaths, inhaling. As you exhale, forehead towards the space between the knees, arms reach forward more and more. If there's discomfort in the shoulders, you can keep the hands at the lower back. Try to keep the heel of the hands together. We're going to rise on up again slowly. This time as you release the arms, reach them forward and up. Imagine you're squeezing a block between your hands as you lift up. As you exhale, now press your palms together, bend the knees, come through center, folding forward. Take a halfway lift, inhale. We're going to step back to downward facing dog as you exhale the breath. If you've got anything on your mat, I've just got a blanket on mine, you can remove it. Pedal out through your feet gently. Hamstrings should be nice and open, but this gives you an opportunity just to feel the lower body, the upper body, to take any movements that your body requires. Be organic, be authentic. Perhaps you stay in a child's pose or a puppy pose if the wrists aren't cooperating. We're going to come forward to a plank in a few moments. So just know that we're going to ripple into a plank. So see if you can bend knees and find a little momentum to ripple through the spine in plank. As you exhale, lower the knees, untuck the toes, look out in front. Hug the elbows in so your elbow creases face forward. Hover your chest and chin off the earth. As you inhale, press yourself back up. As you exhale, shift the hips back to child's pose. Stay in child's pose, breath in. Exhale the breath out. From here, take a little bend of your elbows slightly out to the side so you can dive yourself forward and through like you're diving under a little limbo pole. Now coming to cobra. As you exhale, take it back, child's pose. We're going to do that 3 more times. Inhale, striking cobra. Start to make some sound and hiss like a serpent. Feeling that kundalini serpent energy moving through your spine. Awakening all of the senses. all of the energy centers through our body to help us to get through this time. Hold the next one, breathing in and out. You don't have to be as high as I am. I'm quite open in that lower back. You might be low, but just take your place here. Hug the elbows in. Just ensure those shoulders are not shrugging to the ears. Tops of the feet are pressing gently into the earth. Sometimes we forget about the feet and we start to roll in at the ankles, just ensuring that the tops of the feet are pressing down. As you exhale the breath, gently fold to the earth. Press to hands and knees, inhale. Curl your toes under, lift the hips, down dog, or stay in puppy pose as you exhale. Taking a full deep breath in. Exhale the breath out. Just slightly step your left foot in a little so you can lift your right leg up. As you exhale, squeeze your right knee to your nose. And then take a breath in, extend it high. And then bring your knee towards your left tricep. Point the toes, lift the heel high, shin high. Beautiful. Take an in-breath, flex the foot, heel reaches, toes down. As you exhale, point the toes, knee to your right tricep. Take a full deep breath in, extend. We're going to quietly step the right foot towards the right thumb. It doesn't always land, so you might want to just see where it lands and then grab the ankle and bring it forward. Find that lunge position and then just very slowly circle the arms out wide and up. Catch a hold of your left wrist with your right hand. Turn your left palm up. Gently take it over to the right side, gently pulling the right hand as you hold that wrist. Breathing in and out, getting a nice stretch through the side body on the left. You might even bend the back knee and hover it and then lean a little more. You can be on the back knee if you need to. Come back to center, come back to that lunge. As you exhale, bring your hands to your heart, start to shift forward. Walk the back foot in and then just slowly lift and then draw the knee in to the base of the wrists. From here, interlace all but your index fingers, so interlock hands and then you can release index fingers. And then just slowly extend the arm up. Stay balanced on that right leg. As you exhale, release the hands behind you. Interlock the hands, start to tip forward. Ground the back heel down, so warrior one is the footprint of the feet. So the left toes are facing at a 45 degree. Take a little back bend. As you exhale, dive forward, holding in humble warrior. So we want to get the chest towards the inside of the right thigh, trying to dump the weight on the thigh. Keep the left hip facing forward, right hip gently pulling back. Arms are gently reaching more and more up and overhead. So opening those shoulders, but also finding strength through the feet. Take 2 more breaths. Start to hear your Ujjayi breath, the sound in your throat as you restrict your glottis. Actually, we'll take 3 breaths, and maybe there's 1 more there. Beautiful. Slowly release. Reach the arms up, spin on the ball of your back foot. As you exhale, release the hands to the earth. Take a step back to a low plank. So step back and then bend the elbows, knees can come down if you need to. As you inhale, come to cobra. Maybe you start to work your upward facing dog. Use your exhalation to flow back downward facing dog. Step the right foot slightly in, left leg lifts, inhale. And a slow drawing in of your left knee to your nose. Round through the upper back, lift the knee and shin high, heel high. Wait for the in-breath, flex the foot, extend 3-legged. As you draw the knee to the right tricep, point the toes, use the obliques, the side body, side abdomen. Inhale, extend, move with your breath. Exhaling, knee comes to the left. Beautiful. Breath in, lift and extend. We're going to land the foot. It's a real quiet step, so control it by using the strength in your hip flexor. If it doesn't land, no problem. You give it some assistance. Just pause for a moment. Find the balance. As you release the arms, they come out wide and up. You're balanced. You grab a hold of the right wrist with the left hand, right palm up. Find stability first, and then very carefully start to take it to the left, just so you're not pulling it completely off center, where you lose balance. But that point where you're still in control, you might bend the back knee a little more and pull the pelvis forward so you can feel more into the front of the hip and the side body. Beautiful. 1 more breath. Nice. As you come back to center, bring the hands to the heart, start to tip forward. You might need to walk in a little, but we're going to just briefly balance here and then draw the knee into the base of the wrists. Interlace the opposite index finger on top and then release those index fingers. Reach it all the way up. Just stay balanced here, flexing your right toes. As you release the hands behind you, again, least preferred grip. So break those habits of always interlocking the same. And then as you gently step it back, be carefully ground the back heel down. Toes are at about 2 o'clock. Reach on up. So that's the back toes 2 o'clock, front toes are facing forward. And then take that forward fold between the legs. Keep the left hip forward, a little right, left hip back, right hip forward. So you're spinning the hips through to center. That's that warrior one position. So generally we tend to want to turn the hips out. Just remember in this particular one, drawing the hips forward as you reach the arms forward. And just breathe gently, softly with awareness of what's going on in your body. Maybe your left knee hugs a little further into the midline. And take one more breath. Beautiful. Free the arms. Inhale, spin on the ball of the back foot. As you exhale, come back down. See if you can step back without dragging your left foot and then take it to your low plank. If you're opting to flow through the vinyasa, your in-breath is your back bend. As you exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full deep breath in. Exhale the breath out. Step that left foot in a little. Inhale, reach on up. And as you exhale, once again, squeeze your knee to your nose. Lift up again. Inhale, finding that inner strength. Knee comes across to the left. Use the obliques. Point the toes, lift heel, shin high. Breath in, lift and extend. Breath out, knee comes to your right tricep. Maybe there's contact this time. As you breathe in, flex, extend. We're going to step that right foot between the hands towards that right thumb. Slow inhale as you reach and rise. Grab a hold of your left wrist with your right hand. Exhale over to the right. 3 breaths. Inhaling. Exhaling for 1. Soft and smooth for 2. 1 more breath. For 3. Come back to center this time. Press palms, lift up, lean on back a little. Then as you exhale, hands to the heart, see if you can spring off the back foot and balance here. Keeping the hands at the heart, just keep balancing, flexing the left toes. It's an inner rotation of the thigh. Gently draw the knee into the base of the wrists. Place your left hand on your knee, your right hand to your hip. Keep the hip anchored just as we did on the floor. Open the knee out towards the left. So your right hip is still facing forward. If you need your strap, you might wish to grab it. So you can wrap it around the foot and then start to extend the leg out to the side. Or some of you might be able to piece grip your big toe. So the arm comes to the inside and that might be where you stay. You can slowly start to extend the leg out to the side, but ensure that you're keeping that right hip facing as much forward as you can. Even if the knee's bent, it is fine. Breathe in and out. Your right hand eventually might reach out to the right. Feel that external rotation as you take 3 more breaths in and out for 1. You might turn your gaze to your right hand for 2. 1 more breath for 3. Beautiful. Either bend the knee or bring a straight leg back to center. Reach the arms up, leg is straight or bent. If it's bent, begin to straighten and see if you can hold it here. Try not to lean forward or back, but lift from that hip flexor, find strength. Beautiful. From here, slowly begin to tip back. We're going to step the foot back, be on the ball of the back foot, and then reach up to a high lunge. As you exhale, ground the back heel down, come to warrior 2. Flip your front palm, exalt your warrior, inhale. As you exhale, straighten your front leg, reach your right arm forward, left arm up, come to triangle pose. Hold it here in your variation of Trikonasana. Maybe a block is a little bit more suitable here for you on the outside or the inside. You want to spin the chest open, opening the heart to the ceiling, breathing in and soft with the gaze, soft with the breath. Take 1 more breath. Take a bend in your front knee, reverse your warrior as you inhale. As you exhale, curl the hands to either side of the front foot, step back, low plank. You might want to hover the right foot or skip the flow altogether, depending on where you're at. If you're feeling strong, you might come through a chaturanga push-up, press to plank, then down dog. There's going to be something for everyone. We've got 3 breaths in down dog. Maybe it's child's pose. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, down to chin, chest to thighs, heels to earth, lion's breath. 2 more of those. Inhaling if you're in down dog. Exhaling. Really feel that forceful energy moving out through you. Beautiful. Slight step of the right foot in, left leg lift. As you exhale, knee pulls into your nose, lift the heel, shin high, round dome through the upper back. Take your time, it's not a race. Lift and extend, feel the inner heat. Knee comes across to the right tricep, lift. Stay connected, breathing in. As you exhale, knee comes to the left. 1 breath, 1 movement. Inhale, lift, extend. It's a quiet step of your left foot to your left thumb. If it doesn't land, it doesn't really matter. Bring it forward. Find stability and then arms reach out wide and up. Catch a hold of your right wrist with your left hand. Gently begin to pull on an exhalation. Take a full deep breath in. Exhale, breath out. Slowly come back through center, press palms, lift up, lean on back. As you exhale, hands will come to the heart. See if you can spring off that back foot and then find a sense of balance. If you flex your right toes and bring an inner rotation to the hip, to the thighs, so the hips are facing down, you might find a little more stability. Draw your sternum to your thumbs. Beautiful. Then from there, draw that right knee into the base of your wrists. Pause there for a moment. Find something to focus on. Right hand to the knee, left hand to the hip. Keep the left hip anchored, open gently, gently, gently out to the right. So you can stay here, holding the knee and releasing the hand out towards the left and gazing to that left hand. You want to move slowly as well, or you might just peace grip the big toe and you might just stay here and eventually it might just come to about here with a little bit of a bend till eventually it starts to straighten. Focus on grounding down and lifting up. So the more you push down, the more energy you create to lift up. If you wobble, if you fall, just come back in. If you feel that you're going to lose it, just come back to breathing. Beautiful. Couple more breaths. Really plugging down through that left big toe mound. Nice. You're going to come back through center, whether it be a bent leg or a straight, but we're all eventually going to straighten that leg, reaching the arms up. So even if it's bent, start to straighten. For some of us, the leg is just down here, and that's fine, but we want to just use that strength to lift from this area here where we're not leaning forward or back. Keep pointing the toes. Imagine that you want to get the toes in line with your heart. Lift a little higher. Beautiful. Bend the knee. Slowly take it back with control into that lunge position, and then reach on up as you inhale. Ground the back heel down so you come to warrior 2. Exhale. It's a wide stance. Flip and reverse your warrior. Inhale. And then start to straighten the front leg. Reach forward and then bring the left arm down, right arm up. Trikonasana. We hold here. Creating these beautiful triangle shapes with the body. You want to pull the sternum forward. Keep spinning the chest as you breathe and smile. For 1. For 2. And for 3, bring your bend into the front knee, reverse your warrior, so this beautiful exalted warrior. As you exhale, spin on the ball of the back foot, windmill the arms, step back, low plank. Maybe you're evolving into something a little deeper, maybe you're not. Taking it through your flow, back to down dog. Take 3 breaths and then we're gonna meet in child's pose. So inhale, exhale for 1. Use that tongue to chin action, really releasing the breath through the mouth, clearing the throat. 2, 1 more breath. 3, slowly pop the knees down, bring the knees wide. Child's pose. If you need support, 1 fist or hand on top of the other, rest the forehead there and just pause. Come back to the heart beating. Come back to your intention, your sankalpa. Come back to how you're physically feeling. And slowly begin to reach the hands forward. to the point where you can come to lay on your belly, bring your legs together, zip them in like one mermaid's tail, and then reach the arms back. Keep the tops of the feet pressing, just lift the forehead off the earth, the shoulders off the earth, and then just turn your palms to face up so your biceps are facing up to the ceiling, as if you're grabbing a rope to lift you up. And then as you exhale, just turn the palms down. You bring the forehead to hover off the earth. So you're turning the palms to face the other way. So it's an inner rotation and then an external rotation as you lift. So just rotating at the shoulders, but also getting a back bend. So as you inhale, press, squeeze, lift biceps up, come up high. As you exhale, spin the arms the other way. And then one more time, lift. And then exhale, take it down. Bring the head down, release the hands. Just pause for a moment. Just notice how you feel. We are going to come and hold Shalabhasana in a moment. This time the feet will come off the floor. So before that happens, we turn the head back to center, draw chin to chest. Your option is this time to interlace the hands. So opening that chest, shoulder, back area. If that's not accessible, just release the hands, kind of like we did before, that lift. So zip the legs in together, press the tops of the feet. This time, chest lifts, feet lifts, thighs, knees lift. Lift everything that can lift off your mat. Try not to strain the neck, but keep the chin drawn in. Point your toes, zip your inner ankles, inner feet in together. Doesn't have to be a huge lift. Just remember that you want to be able to breathe. So you want to be able to sustain at least 3 to 5 quality breaths. Breathing in and out for 1. Keep the heel of the hands together if you can to open the shoulders for 2. I'm going to take 1 more breath. You can come down, or if there's 2 more breaths there in you and you're feeling strong and open and expansive, hold for those 2 more breaths. And then meet on the earth on an exhalation with the head turned in the opposite direction. Make that sound. Notice what you feel. Feel your heart beating. Maybe the tingling sensations through your hands. Bring your hands gently under your shoulders. Press back into child's pose. Bring a little side to side movement into your hips and your pelvis. Just moving a little, noticing the lower back releasing. I'm going to creep our way forward to the top of our mat. You're either going to stay seated on your heels, or you might lift up, bring the hands to the calves, move them out of the way and sit on the floor or a block. So we're just going to get into that lower part of the body and possibly create a back bend with this one. So just notice how the knees feel. If there's discomfort, please modify for your body. So you can always have a block or 2 or 3 blocks underneath you or a cushion. Eventually, what you might start to find is that you're able to lean back a little. I like to, before I go back, I like to give my feet a massage. So let's give ourselves a nice little foot massage, plugging the thumbs into the feet, finding those pressure points. There are all those meridian points there in the feet and a lot of reflexology points that relate to a lot of organs that are in our feet, our toes. You might want to press each toe individually. You might stay upright and enjoy the massage of your feet, even your legs if you like. Otherwise, if you wish to come down into reclined position, you can lean back. If you're sitting on something, you're not going to come all the way back. If you're with me and you're sitting on the floor, just lift the hips. Anterior tilt of the pelvis, place the hips back down. It just gives you a little more space, and then maybe the elbows are there and you stay 3 to 5 breaths. Or maybe you notice that you can come a little bit deeper and you come to the shoulders. The final expression might be reaching the arms up and overhead, but just notice what you're feeling. So it can be quite deep in the front of the hip flexors, the quadricep area, maybe even lower back. So it will vary. For some of us, it's even the ankles. Having the feet in this position might not be the most comfortable. So just please meet yourself where you are, either upright or reclined. And then just take 5 soft, smooth breaths. And try not to rush them because you want this to end. Sometimes we like to just quickly go through it. See if you can be in the experience of this moment. Feeling the hips, thighs, jaw, space between the eyebrows. What are you holding on to? What is there that you can let go of? Taking those 5 breaths. If you are reclined, you'll come back up the way you came. If you leaned back a little, you'll come up. If you're still seated up on something, we're all going to slowly remove that. Just come forward slowly, remove what's underneath you. Swing the feet around to one side and then extend the legs out in front. And just pause there. You might feel the flow of blood moving back into those legs, those feet. You might want to shuffle the hips back a little. We're going to come into a forward fold to counterpose that. So Paschimottanasana. Some of you might want to elevate the hips with a blanket or a cushion. So it's a slight anterior tilt of the pelvis. If you shuffle the hips back, you're just exposing the belly of the hamstrings. You might even have your knees bent. Reach the arms up, inhale. Keep lengthening forward rather than rounding. Keep that length, keep reaching forward. You'll get the belly maybe connected to the thighs. You can bend the knees in order for that to happen. Then you can release the hands. You've got a strap today, so if you want to use that, you're more than welcome to. Or you can bend the knees and hug the thighs to the belly and fold. Eventually the legs will straighten. And then just take some settling breaths where you're not straining. So we're finding a place between sthira and sukham, between effort and ease. So we're not pulling or tugging, but we're not just hanging out here looking at our pedicure or our lack of pedicures and manicures. We tend to start getting distracted. Can you just be in the experience of this, the sensations in your body, the love in your heart? Take 3 more breaths. And when you complete 3 breaths, slowly roll yourself up. Slide your hands along the floor, beside your legs, all the way back. So your fingers are still going to face forward. And then as you do, either slide your feet in just a little or keep your legs extended. Reverse plank or reverse tabletop. Reverse tabletop is a little gentler. So this is reverse tabletop. Reverse plank can be a little bit stronger. So we're going to do one of those you choose. If you're pointing, if you're with me, you're pointing toes lifting and squeezing up. So you will feel the rotator cuffs here of the upper body. You want to use the pelvis and the hips to squeeze up. You want to work the toes to touch the floor. Same as when you're here, you're lifting, you're pressing your hips forward and then up. Some of you might be down here, but try to really squeeze and lift and breathe and smile for 5, for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come back down onto the earth. Cross your right leg in front of your left. And step your right foot just in front. Bring your right arm underneath to grab a hold of the ankle as you lift the leg. So just give it a little bit of a rock. You might stay here. You might bring the outer blade of your foot to the crook of the elbow and take a little rock the baby here. That might feel nice. You might stay here. Some of you might want to get into the side body and try a pose called Surya Yantrasana, which is sundial pose. So for that one, you'll bring that right hand to the ankle. You'll bring the left hand over the top. And then you're working the knee onto the shoulder. You'll release your right hand and you'll bring the hand down to the floor. Use your inner thigh to hug the leg in. That option you can stay. The option that follows is the leg starting to straighten. Now, it is quite challenging sometimes to get the leg to straighten. Some of us aren't as open in the side body because we have the strap today. I will demonstrate how you can actually get into that with the strap as well. So you're just holding the strap. You can start there and hold. Eventually what might happen is you can start to extend. you've got a little bit more reach here because you've got a lot of strap. So you can start here. I like to start holding the strap pretty close to my foot, and then as I extend, slide it away. If you're already out here and you want to come in, you kind of can't. So if that's where you're at and you're starting with the strap, no, it is a very intense side bend. It also gets into the back of the leg. So there's somewhere for everyone to be, have a little play, or you're here just enjoying this beautiful rock. Just a few more breaths. Beautiful. Now what we're going to do is place this right ankle on top of the left knee. So coming into square pose, or as it's known in yin, or coming into double pigeon. So stacking the shins. So you want to bring the right shin forward so it lines up with the front of the mat or wherever you are on your mat. And you're going to eventually come forward. This can be pretty deep. So if you're finding that your hip is lifted, you can extend that bottom leg, or you can just bring that leg forward so it's still in a square position, and then that's still possibly working the buttocks there as well. So just notice what you're feeling in this one. Eventually you'll just start to come further and further forward. Flexing the feet will help. Breathing will definitely help. So just take a few breaths, let the glutes settle, let the breath settle. Feeling that shining light inside, bright, burning away any resistance, any uncertainty, having complete faith and trust in humanity. Take 3 more breaths, Ujjayi breaths. Sound in your throat, your glottis. Imagining you're fogging up a mirror with that mouth closed. When you've completed 3 breaths, slowly come back out. Cross the other leg in front to begin with. And then we'll come to Surya Yantrasana on the other side. So Surya is the sun, and Yantrasana or asana is pose. Yantra is, it can translate to sundial, or a yantra is actually, so we have mantra, we have yantra. So yantra is the visualization, the looking at a particular sacred geometry, which is known as a yantra. So it's an open eye meditation. So you're either here or here. You might just be here. You might eventually extend. You might grab a hold of your strap. So just see where you're at. You might try something and then decide to switch, as long as you're present and aware. So this is eventually the pose. The leg will eventually straighten. You will get a tremendous stretch along the side body. It will require hamstring flexibility as well. So flexing the foot will help. Opening up through the chest. One side always feels a little different than the other. And then just pause somewhere and breathe in and out. Quality breaths. Generally, the pose begins the moment we actually want to leave the pose. So that's when our practice begins. Whenever you're ready to slowly come out, we are stacking shins. So this left ankle stacks on the right. The shins are roughly parallel to the mat. Then you can come forward. You might be upright. You might notice that you're lifted quite significantly if you're quite tight there. You can extend the bottom leg and come forward. It will change the sensation of fraction. Just getting nice and deep into the glutes. Breathing in and out. You might close the eyes and just feel the body weight tipping you forward, the weight of the head. Soft eyes, eyelids, soft temples. Take 3 more breaths. When you're ready, slowly come up. Extend those legs, give them a little shake out. And we are going to come to lay down, so just make sure you've got your mat behind you. Extend your legs, zip your belly in. We're going to round through the spine, so just draw the belly in, flex the feet, maybe the heels hover off the earth. See if you can take your time to roll on down. And when you do connect to the earth, draw the knees into the chest, take another little squeeze. We started in this position, just noticing how it feels now, or one of our starting positions. And then just choosing which inversion you'd like to take. So that is anywhere where the legs are lifted. It might be happy baby with a bend in the knees, really honoring pulling the knees to the outsides of the ribs and pulling the feet down. That might get nice and deep into the glutes and the hips. That might feel nice for your body today. And it might be a rock. You might start there and then decide a shoulder stand. So you press the hands, lift, hands can come to the lower back. Then the legs can lift. They don't have to lift all the way up. Try not to look around. If you come up into this one, it can be quite strong in the neck area. Just to ensure that there are no neck or shoulder issues as well. So there are so many other things that we can do if we do have injuries. Alternatively, you might just bring a block underneath your hips and then just let the legs just droop upwards. There might be movement or stillness, or you might start with movement and then find a place to be still. And are we always distracted, and do we always do the same thing? Do we have a love-hate relationship with certain poses? Do we hear the name or the label of that pose and already form an opinion? Can we just notice when those things happen? Notice our responses and our reactions to certain things. I'm sure there has been a lot of that perhaps in the last 24 hours. I know a lot of that stuff has stemmed for me. The whole idea of integrating back into a world that's going to feel very different. There's been so much inner work that we've all done. Whenever you're ready, slowly come out of wherever you are. If there's any counter pose that you'd like to take, your body's going to guide you there. So you might draw knees in, you might have gone from a shoulder stand to a plow pose and then maybe to a fish pose. You might take a gentle twist of the knees side to side. So just a few moments to explore what you're feeling you need. You might want to lift the hips and take a brief little bridge. But know that we are nearing the end of our practice and that Shavasana is calling. So we take the movements in order to be able to find physical stillness, to not be distracted halfway through our Shavasana practice with the idea of, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. And that might come up anyway. If you've got a blanket, you might want to bring that on top of you. And coming into a still place, if the legs feel comfortable to have extended, extend them out wide like a beautiful wide pentacle. If not, just bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet wide, knees can drop in. That eliminates any pressure from the lower back. If you've got something to cover your eyes with, you might wish to use an eye pillow. Just noticing what's shifted inside of you. Maybe there's a profound vastness, that deafening silence and stillness, that expansion of being. I read a beautiful quote today, Maya Angelou. I come as one and stand as 1,000. So feeling that strength of 1,000 suns inside of you, bright, standing firm, in who you are and why you chose to be here at this time. Not underestimating your courage, your power, your strength, and everything that we've been experiencing over the last 6 months has been for a greater purpose. And despite how we've reacted in certain situations and at certain times, maybe not proud of our responses, knowing that just to simply have the awareness that we have responded, that we have reacted, is practice enough and knowledge enough that we are on our path to evolution, to a new earth, to just settling and breathing life into your body, feeling this vessel, this beautiful, amazing body that has the ability to digest your food and eliminate waste, to give you the nutrients that you need and eliminate what you don't need. Your respiratory system and how you're able to receive the oxygen from the earth, the plants. How our lungs expand and contract as we breathe, and our heart continues to beat. Just follow each breath in and each breath out. Soft, gentle breath in. Witnessing the soft, surrendering exhalation out. More and more the body softens. More and more we dissolve, form, becoming formless. Coming as one, but standing as 1,000. Just turning the corners of your mouth gently upwards, just to feel the warmth, joy, the love, self-expression, creativity, the abundance inside of you. And just to allow a little wriggling movement, just real soft, gentle, just enough to stretch, to yawn, to roll to one side, and just enough to come into a seat where you might continue to sit in meditation after we complete our practice together, which is a beautiful suggestion, just to give yourself an extra 10, 15 minutes just to sit in meditation. Just be still once you land. Just observe where your hands, where they land. Create a nice, long, strengthening spine as the crown lifts. Just soften the shoulders back and down. And let there be that word, your intention, sankalpa, let that come back to you. And bring your palms together at the center of your chest. Feeling your heart beating, your thumbs pressing into your heart. Thanking yourself, the collective energy around you. Thank your body. Namaste. So thank you for showing up. Have a beautiful rest of your evening. And I'll be here. You can drift off whenever you feel to. Thanks, guys.